Here we go again, fellas. We're back. It's your boy H-Ville with H-Ville Collectibles, bringing you another action figure review from a massive action figure collection. Today, we will be taking a quick look at Marvel Legends series, Marvel Studios, the first 10 years, Tony Stark and Iron Man Mark 1. We got the figures sitting up here in the box. Take a quick look at the box. We have the Marvel Studios, the first 10 years. If you notice, they took the I and the O out of Studios and made it red and make it look like a little 10. We have the Iron Man logo right there in the front. We also have the Iron Man logo from the first Iron Man movie. On the left side of the box, we have a little quick synopsis on the side. You can read that, or you can stop it, pause it. Should be good enough for you to read. On the left side of the box, we have some studio art on the side. Looks pretty good. Got the Iron Man Mark 1 right there. Apparently, if you buy all of the figures in this wave, you can put them all together to make some kind of collage picture that they did. On the back of the box, we have Legend series at the top, the Marvel Studios, the first 10 years. We have a little quick synopsis of Tony Stark in various different languages, and also of Iron Man Mark 1 with various languages at the bottom as well. Then we have a picture from the first Iron Man movie. We have a 1 at the top that's indicating that this is the first box in the wave of figures for you to put together to see that little collage. Let's go ahead on and crack these figures open and get this review rolling. And voila, we got the figures up out of the package. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at them. We got your Tony Stark and your Iron Man Mark 1. Now, just taking a quick look at them, I'm not going to do my usual, which I go over all of the articulation, because there's 1,000 videos on YouTube with these articulations. I'm basically just giving my review of the figure. Now, let's look at that face on Mr. Tony Stark. Looks pretty good. It's not an exact, face mold of Robert Downey Jr., but it looks pretty good. I mean, for what it is, I'm satisfied with this as a definitive Tony Stark from the movie. Looks really, really good. We got this suit. I like that little tie right there. Looks pretty swift. Got an ab crunch. He's a very, very nice looking figure. His legs don't spread out that much, but I mean, it's a man in a suit. Just how much flexibility do you need to be having in your suit? So, but it looks pretty good. I like the jacket. Looks nice. So we've seen this body on a ton of different figures, so it's really nothing new, but it does look good as a Tony Stark action figure. Now, the meat and potatoes of this 2-pack should be Iron Man Mark 1. Let's go and take a look at him. It's got some nice detailing on him. See the little machine parts up in there. It's got like some kind of grip from like a fighter, a tank or something like that, some kind of military armoring panel that he used to make the armor in the first movie. The helmet looks really, really good. It's kind of small though. I mean, it was small in the movie in, comparison to in respect to the rest of the body, but yeah, it is a small looking helmet. Let's look at the back. Little engine right there. More detailing from armor plating, from old military armor plating. The leg scopes look nice. I like that right there. That looks pretty cool. I like the way the legs are different. They're not symmetrical. You can see this looks way different from that. But that looks pretty cool. Got a little, I guess that's supposed to be a rocket launcher or a flamethrower. Kind of funny. On this arm, he's got canister that looks like it would house some sort of combustible material to be a flamethrower. But we have no flamethrower nozzle. Oh, maybe that is that right there. Got the arc reactor in the middle. Pretty good. That is Tony Stark and Iron Man. Now, what I will do is I'll look at the articulation on the Mark 1 a little bit. Let's see. Arm can come out there, can rotate up, can go in that far, can come out that far. A single hinge on the elbow. It can only turn to the right and left that far. Articulation is the same on this arm. Does have a articulation at the waist. Can only turn to the right or to the left and to the right that far. Legs are on a hinge, a ball door. Yes, a hinge. Legs can come up that far. Can get 90 degrees on that. Can't swing back but so far. Can pivot out that far. Can pivot in that far. This leg seems to be able to move. The left leg seems to be able to fold in more than the right. Oh, I don't know why you would want to do that with your Iron Man Mark 1, but single joint at the knee. Knee doesn't bend that far. I mean, you wouldn't expect it to bend that far. I like that how they got that little chain going around that, like it turns when he lifts. You know, it's like really, really old school basic. It's a nice little detail, but knee can only bend that far. And he does come with an accessory. That's your articulation for the Mark 1. It's not much at all. He does come with an accessory. This is a flame missile. Fits in here. It fits into the arm like so. Now, this is extremely basic. Extremely basic. In order to fire this, there's a spring in there. And what you got to do is like pull on this and like let it go. And I didn't even do it right that time. Hold on. Looks like you got to be like, take that, evildoer. I mean, that is like man, that is so basic. I have absolutely no use for this right here. This is a feature that will never get used, but they made it as a gimmick for a child to buy. All right, and there's a size comparison of the Tony Stark action figure standing directly in front of the Mark 1. So you can kind of get an idea of what Tony Stark actually fit inside this armor. You know, is it to scale? And I gotta say, yeah, it is a little bit, but I feel like the midsection should be a bit bigger in order to, you know, truly look like it would fit him in there. Besides the fact that the gap between the leg is really, really big. It's like, how would his legs go down inside of there, you know? So, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, Hasbro did their best. Like I said, my only complaint is I feel like the head should have been a little bit bigger. I mean, because you look at this head, there's no way Tony Stark's head is fitting inside of there. So, yeah, that head is way too small. He would need to cut off all of his hair and his ears in order to fit inside that helmet. So, that is a little off scale. But outside of that, it looks pretty good. I will say this really, really quick, and then we'll end it. I feel like these figures are like aimed at an adult audience. Like, I don't see why a child would probably want this. So if you're a parent looking at this video like, should I buy this for my kid? If he's into it, yeah, I mean, it's safe for children, but I don't think small children who aren't into these figures for what they are, I mean, the collector pieces they're supposed to be targeted at. I think because the main figure in this 2-pack would be the Iron Man Mark 1. But when you look at him and you move him around, he's really, really basic. I mean, and that's the way he should be, because in the movie, you know, he was only on screen for about, what, 4 minutes at the most, and he was really, really clunky. The only thing is he was really, really big, though. So I feel like because he's off scale, it kind of makes for not that cool of a toy. It looks good, I will say that. I enjoy it. It is what it is for me. But looking at it from a child's standpoint, I probably, like, if I was a kid and I saw this, I'd be like, I mean, especially like if I was a teenage kid or, you know, that was collecting these figures, I'd be like, man, there ain't a whole lot of play value with this. So, but if you're buying it for a collector piece, then great. If you're buying it for a toy to play with, you might get bored with it pretty quick, because this is extremely lame. Other than that, the Tony Stark figure is probably the best figure out of the 2-pack, but it's on a body mold that we've seen 100,000 times, and which is cool. I mean, it's the, you know, it's Hasbro suit body mold, but it's not a whole lot going on to it. It does have double knee. As long as it got double knee, it's all right with me. And it has double elbow as well. You can get a nice, that guy's playing Gallagher. Didn't think we noticed, but we did. So you get a nice Tony Stark figure. So that's my opinion. This is the reason why you would buy the pack, and just to sit him on the shelf. The other thing that this figure is lacking is accessories. I feel like if you're going to make a figure, any figure that, you know, unless you're making a figure like the Incredible Hulk or Superman, you know, some character that doesn't have any, that doesn't need an accessory, you know, they basically, their strength, their body is the weapon, then you need to give the character some kind of accessory to hold. So what would have made this pack better to have is Tony Stark coming with like a cell phone, a briefcase, something he could kind of use as a prop, other than it just being the Tony Stark body and the Mark One. That's a, you know, for lack of better terms, a lackluster figure. I mean, it looks cool, but you know, it's made to be clunky, and they, you know, Hasbro succeeded with that. It is a clunky looking figure, but it's a novelty, and that's why I said I don't see a whole lot of children that may want it. But then again, I don't know. Some kids may love it. As a kid, I think I probably would have been like, yeah, it's kind of boring, but I don't know. Kids these days, they might be like, man, boring is awesome. So, but outside of that, as an adult collector, I'm enjoying the figure. Do I recommend this set? I'm going to say I recommend it if you're an adult collector. If you're a child, I don't recommend this set, because the best figure out of the 2-pack is the Tony Stark, and you might not have a lot of fun with a dude in a suit. But as an adult collector, if you're doing like, you know, action figure dioramas, you know, you're doing like action figure photography, then yeah, awesome. Go ahead and pick it on up. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and say I recommend it, but, you know, let the caveat, that's not caveat emptor. I think it is caveat emptor. Ain't that let the buyer beware? But anyway, let the buyer beware. But other than that, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace and a bye-bye. Later.